Do you love wild boar hunting as much as I do? Wild boar are smart, they're tough, they're tasty, and you can hunt them all year round. Basically, there are 3 different ways you can hunt wild boar. Either you can bait or feed, sit in the woods, wait for the pigs to come to you. You can make driven hunts. The dogs or the beaters will go through the woods and drive the wild boar towards the shooters. Or you can make spot and stalk. It means you find the boar in the woods or in the field, you go and find them, usually by night, and you shoot them. Some may prefer one over the other. Me, I'm liberal and I eat from the entire buffet. In a series of 3 films, I will show you my experience with hunting wild boar at the feeders, driven hunts and spot and stalk. So stay tuned and don't forget to click that subscribe button and follow me for more interesting hunting in the time to come. It's a warm July evening and I'm waiting at one of the feeders. I haven't waited long when all of a sudden, without a sound, a young male boar appears. Now I just have to wait for him to stand broadside. Just a few words on shot placement. Wild boar are very different from moose or deer because they have a very thick neck with a very high concentration of vital structures. So that means many will prefer to shoot it in the neck or just behind the ear, which in my opinion is the same thing. And others may prefer to shoot it in the lung, going for the heart and the lungs. The advantage of shooting it in the neck is that you get an instant kill if you make a proper shot. That means you completely disconnect the head from the entire body and the pig will lose consciousness, and you will also have minimum meat damage. For others, this is a cowboy shot and they think the only way to do it is to shoot it in the lung. You choose. I prefer, if I have a good shot, short distance and the boar standing still, I prefer to shoot it in the neck, but if it's a fast shot, if it's a running boar, I will almost certainly go for a long shot. So it's 5 o'clock in the evening and I know that the pigs will be hitting the feeders at about 6 o'clock. So I'm just going to go out there now, see if something happens. Hopefully I'll get a piggy. After just 20 minutes of waiting, I hear something to my right and I look up. I see 3 boar approaching. In the beginning I think they're actually going the other way, but finally they come towards the feeder. The thermal spotter is a fantastic instrument because it allows me to identify the sex and size of the pigs. One of them, a sow, doesn't like it and she's moving away. But what appears to be a young male boar and a young piglet remain just underneath the feeder. Even though there's no way to be 100% sure, I can see it's not a pregnant pig and there's no milk in the tits, so this is a safe pig to shoot. As slowly and quietly as I can, I pick up the rifle with the infrared clip-on on it. This allows me to see clearly in the night, and especially I want to make sure that there's nothing standing in front or behind the pig when I take the shot. So this was me sitting up here, and over here is Piggy. So got a little dirty from lying in the mud. The shot was right through the back of the head. Died instantly, didn't move. It's a good shot, no meat damage. Now the hard work begins. When it comes to equipment, I use my faithful good old Sauer in caliber 303. It's mounted with a side scope which permits me to get a lot of light coming in, even in dark conditions. I always turn the scope all the way down. I hunt with a silencer because I don't want to get deaf, and I always have a flashlight on that can either go red or white depending on if it's a hunting situation or searching situation. In recent years I also have an infrared device that I can clip on, simply just put on the scope, lock this, and it provides me with great infrared imaging. This is the Pulsar F155, which is one of the cheaper ones. It's not especially good, but it absolutely works when you're hunting from a feeder. Finally, another toy is my thermal spotter, and this is absolutely fantastic because it turns night into day. It really allows you to see what's going on. It allows you to make sure that you're shooting the right animal, that you are not shooting an animal with an animal standing behind it. You're shooting it in the right end. I completely understand if some people think that all these devices sort of take the hunt out of the hunt. I get that, but also I must say that the more accurate you are, the more sure you are that you're shooting the right animal and you're not messing up things. I enjoy hunting alone. I really do. I enjoy sitting in the darkness, absolutely alone, listening to, well, most of the time, nothing but potentially a wild boar. It brings a certain tranquility to mind. But if I can persuade my son to come with me, there's nothing I would rather do. And this time, he did. It is September 11th, 2020, and Milius and I just put up our camp. Milius is over here having a Coke. We just had some chicken. The sun just went down, and in about half an hour, we're gonna go wild boar hunting. We just drove up from Denmark this evening and got here just now before sunset. We've done this quite a few times. Sometimes we get lucky, and the past couple of times we didn't get lucky. So we really hope that this time we get a boar. So just like before, we're gonna sneak in as good as we can to one of these feeders, and we're gonna sit quietly, not so comfortably, but as quiet as possible. And we're gonna sit from about 8 o'clock to maybe 11 o'clock. This is Friday evening, so we're just gonna take a few hours tonight, and if we don't get lucky, we're gonna go again in the morning. So that was an exciting sit. We only just got here, and then 3 boar came out, 2 sows and a young piggy. Never got a shot and didn't really want to shoot the sows either. And then they finally smelled us and went away. So now we're tired. He's gonna pass by one last feeder on the way home to camp. And if we see nothing there, it's gonna be hot cocoa and sleeping bags. So it's our second day of hunting. It's 2:45. Nina's making a fire. We picked some mushrooms earlier, so now we're gonna have lunch. Homegrown mushrooms, healthy ones, and entrecôte, and lots of cream. And then we're gonna go out tonight, shoot maybe a roebuck, at least a wild boar. We get to the stand really early, before sunset actually, and not much is going on. As the darkness comes, nothing happens, and eventually Milius falls asleep. As time goes by, a badger shows up, and eventually a hare and a billion mice. We also have the visit of an owl, who eventually eats one of the mice. But still, no piggies. All of a sudden I hear the badger running away, and I wonder, could it be? Take up the spotter and look, and wouldn't you know it, a single male boar is standing now there. I know it's a boar, we can shoot it, I want to shoot it, but now I have to wake up Milius. I nudge him, I poke him, I squeeze his leg, I call his name, nothing happens. Nothing happens. And the boar, patiently waiting. Eventually I get him back to life, and he takes a spotter, and he looks for me as I take the shot. We have a wild boar down. Milius fell asleep and he told me to wake him up. I had a badger and I had a hare, and all of a sudden they all ran away. And I looked up and there's a big single wild boar standing down there. I tried to wake up Milius, but he's sound asleep. And I managed to wake him up, and he managed to take the spotter and film everything as I shoot. I have to wait for the wild boar to stand clear of the feeder, and he was facing me. I wanted to take a shot from the side, so I wanted him to be broadside, and I shot him just in the neck, and he just collapsed like that. So now it's raining. It's perfect. We're gonna give it a few minutes, go down, see what we have, and then I think it's time to hit the hay. So we got the wild boar all taken care of. Usually I have this gallows in my car to string up the pig and skin it, but I forgot that. But it's not such a big problem because you can always put the pig on one side, do one side, remove the front and the back straps, and also the sirloin and all the meat you need to take away, and then flip it over, leave it on the skin, take the skin off on the other side, and then voila, you have all the meat. So what we did, obviously when you do it like this, it's a little bit messy, and wild boar are quite dirty, so you need at least 2 different knives, one for the skin and one for the meat. And even so, you need a little bit of preparation when you get home. So now everything's packed. I'm gonna bring it home and keep it on in the cooler for a few days, and then freeze it and eat it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please don't forget to click subscribe and follow me for lots of interesting hunts in the time to come.